Hi, welcome to Burnside School and our second annual fourth grade science fair. Mrs. Wiegand and I'm Judy Passmore, with the help of Mrs. Betty Calbreth, our science instructional leader, have done another science fair with our class. We have many exciting exhibits that we would like you to see. They range anywhere from mazes to volcanoes to shells and sharks, and we're very pleased with what the children have done. We would like you to meet some of the winners and have them tell you about their exhibits.
Hi, I'm Judy Wiegand, the other fourth grade teacher, and with me is the boy who won the Best of Show prize, Kevin Shaw. Kevin, would you tell us about your project?
Well, there are three kinds of gears here: the spur gear, the worm gear, and the bevel gear. And here is a spur gear, and whenever you turn this one around twice, this one will go around once.
We're at a display on magnetism and electricity, and we have two prize winners, Robbie Lawson and Tom Giangulio. Robbie, would you tell us about your project, please?
My project is a thing on solar power, and it has 5.5 solar cells and a big one. And the cells are set up in parallel and series. The ones that go across from each other are in parallel, and the ones that go up and down from each other are in series. And the big one has as much voltage as the little ones, but the big one has more current. So, we try to, in the bright sunlight, barely turn the motor with the big one, okay, but it wouldn't turn the motor enough to make the rubber band move, to make the wheels move. And the wheels move with the battery, but it doesn't move with the solar cells. So I set up batteries in case anybody wants to see it go.
Would you show us how it works?
Okay. Flick the switch. And see, I connected the batteries to the switch instead of just to the motor. And right now it doesn't, there's not enough tension on the rubber band to move the wheels really fast. So even if I set it on the ground right now, it wouldn't really move good.
Thank you, Robbie. Tommy, would you explain your project, please?
This is an electric motor, and it's supposed to turn this spool, because we have a poster here to show you where current goes through. See, current comes from the battery, it goes into the brush wire, and then it touches the corner of the screw. After that, when that touches the end of the screw, the electromagnet attracts this screw to here in the middle. Then after that, the current will be going down to the metal base plate and back into the brush wire, going into the electromagnet and out again, back to the battery.
Would you show us?
All right. It's now starting to do it, but it's not working right because sometimes it stops on me. Now, as I said before, the current's going through here, down, touching the corner, while the electromagnet is attracting the screw. And it's going down to the metal base plate, into the brush wire, into the electromagnet, then coming out, back into the brush wire, and back into the battery.
Thank you, Tom. Now let's move on to another table. This is Denise Mundy, and she did her project on rust. Denise, would you tell us what you did for your project?
Well, I put steel wool in Clorox and vinegar, and right here the steel wool turned it rusty. And this is from Clorox and vinegar. There's little particles of rust in there.
Okay, would you tell us what causes rust?
Rain, water, and air.
Thank you very much. We're at another exhibit. This one was made by Andy Tallone. Andy, would you tell us about your exhibit?
Okay, I made sharks and shells, and here's some different kinds of sharks. Here's the great white shark, the hammerhead shark, the bull shark, and the white tip shark because it has white tips there. And there's the basking shark and the whale shark. And here's some sand shark teeth that I got. And here are some of the shells that I have. And I have a shell classification for these in here. And here's the different parts of the gastropods. Here's the foot right there. Here's the eye. And here's the tentacle. And these two little things are the brains. And here's the stomach, and there's the gills, and the top of it's the mantle, and the heart, and the rectum, and the digestive glands right here. And here's the different classes of mollusks.
Thank you, Andy. Let's move on to another table. This is Paulette Vincent. Paulette did an experiment with seeds. Paulette, would you tell us about your experiment?
Yes, I'm doing an experiment to show the difference between a bean and a corn seed. Now, right here is the beginning of a corn seed. And this is about 5 to 9 days old when it just begins to sprout. And as you can see, it's pretty long. And if you look on the other end, I can't take it down, but anyway, on the other end, it's starting to sprout a green leaf. And right here, here's the information on the corn. It's like shows how long it is right now when it first begins to sprout, how long it takes when you start picking them. It is a monocot or whatever, and how it grows faster in the soil and then the water. And right here, as you can see, this is a model of what it looks like inside. And I did the same thing to the bean. Here's the beginning, and here's when it starts to sprout. This is about 12 to 20 days old. And this is to show you right here, to show you how fast it grows in water, and how fast it grows in soil. And here's the information on it, the bean too. How long it takes to start to sprout, how long it grows till you can start picking them. The bean is a decot, and it tells you how fast it grows in soil and water. And right there's the model of the inside of it.
Thank you, Paulette. Let's go on to another one. This is Jana Cresswell. Jana's going to do an experiment for us, testing foods to see if there's starch in them. Jana?
What I've done is taken iodine and testing different kinds of foods. And if they turn purple, that means they do have starch. If they stay reddish, that means they don't. I'm going to try bread. This has starch. And the lasagna noodles have starch. But the orange doesn't.
Thank you very much, Jana. Let's move on to another experiment. This is Katherine Milligan. Katherine did a model of the heart. Katherine, would you tell us how you made this?
I used clay and I put toothpicks in where they were needed, and 2 days later I painted it, and the next day I put the labels on.
And what do the labels show us?
The parts of the heart.
Did you learn anything from doing this project?
Yes,
What?
I learned how it works.
Okay, thank you very much, Katherine. Then we'll move on to another project. This is Beau Blake. Beau has done an exhibit on dinosaurs. Beau, would you tell us a little bit about your exhibit and about what you learned about dinosaurs?
Yes. Here I made a little figure of a dinosaur landing. I wrote right here, what is a dinosaur? The word dinosaur means terrible lizard. It comes from two Greek words, dinos and sauros. There are two types of animals, meat eaters and plant eaters. Right here is the family tree, and right here I put numbers down there to prove where they live and how their names are and everything. Right there is where the dinosaurs lived, and the dinosaur history is on the other side.
Thank you very much, Beau. Let's move on to another exhibit. This is Sharon Savage. Sharon has done a model of and a report on the housefly. Sharon, would you tell us how you made the model of a housefly?
Well, I made the paper, right? I brought it up and then I taped it around, and then I put this plaster on, wrapped it around it. First you have to wet it and then wrap it around it, and then you got to let it dry overnight, and then you got to paint it. You have to paint all of it brown, and then you got to make the stripes on it. And the wings, you got to make a shape for the wings and put the stuff in it. And the legs, they're really easy. You just have to make any kind of designs on it. I mean, you can make shapes out of it.
And what did you learn about the housefly from doing this project?
That they lay their eggs in maggots. Their eggs are called maggots, and they lay their eggs in rotten food.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Now we'll move on to another exhibit. This is Bobby Allen. Bobby has done a model of a volcano for his exhibit. Bobby, would you tell us first of all how you made the model?
Well, I used plaster of Paris for the volcano, the cone, and then I used a wood saw and I sawed it in half, and then we sanded off the inside.
And would you tell us a little bit about volcanoes, please?
Well, the gray and the white represent, the gray is the ash and the white is the lava, and the cone is just made up of ash and lava piled over each other.
And what does the orange represent on this?
That represents the magma or the lava.
Okay, thank you very much, Bobby. Let's move on to our final exhibit. This is Danny Beale. Danny did a report on stars and an exhibit called Space, the Final Frontier. Danny, would you tell us a little bit about your exhibit?
Well, this is the space shuttle on this being repaired, and I have a little man here, a robot, sort of, and he's walking in space, and this is another spacecraft being repaired, and this is a flying saucer, and this is another satellite out here, and that's just a ship flying by past a nebula.
Why did you choose to do this kind of an exhibit?
Because if you just have a poster, it just looked too easy, and with other things like these in the space, it's make it stand out.
Okay, Danny, thank you very much. This was our 4th grade science fair for 1983. We're very pleased with the effort that the children put into it. You can see that it does take a lot of time. We're looking forward to next year's science fair, and we hope you enjoyed this.